Volunteers provide special water purification system for flood survivors in Northern Thailand. Tzu Chi's I-99 clinic now includes dental services in Northern California.
I'm Sean Scanlan. This is DaAi Headlines. In August last year, Northern Thailand was flooded by torrential rain. In the aftermath of the disaster, Tzu Chi volunteers went to the affected areas to assess damages and conduct distributions.
The atmosphere of the humanities camp for new volunteers in Nan province of Thailand is very warm.
You should let go of worries. He has no one to hug to, so you should care for him and say thanks to each other.
In August last year, residential houses and farmlands in Nan province of Northern Thailand were all inundated by heavy rainfall. Tzu Chi volunteers came to care for the affected residents. Besides providing them with financial assistance, volunteers have also pledged to accompany them to rebuild their homes. As winter arrives after August, volunteers have prepared warm clothing and daily necessities for the villagers.
Seeing so many people share happiness and warmth with us, I moved to tears.
Tzu Chi collaborates with the health center to provide water purification systems as well as assist in the maintenance of water supply equipment in the village. This has greatly improved the quality of life of more than 600 people.
Before, the water was very turbid, but it is clean now. It is Tzu Chi who helps us.
I think the wells bring benefits to many people now. We also feel happy about this. Now they have better quality of water to use, but at the same time, we also hope they can cherish water resources.
More and more people in the village have joined Tzu Chi volunteers to visit impoverished elderly people.
Being able to bathe the grandmother and help her cut her nails, I cannot describe my happiness in words.
Everyone carries out the act of giving, and they no longer undermine their efforts.
I'm not a very rich person, but I also want to give and help other people. It's like the way that Tzu Chi came to help our village.
Many of the residents in Nan want to join Tzu Chi to help other people in need. They are asking how they can become a Tzu Chi volunteer, so we should work hard to make the seeds of love grow and sprout in the community.
TIMA is holding free clinics in Mozambique. They have discovered that many people there suffer from PTSD. Worried about the survivors' health, Tzu Chi volunteers from Taiwan flew to Mozambique for the third time to assist local volunteers.
49-year-old Sarita always sits in front of her house every day, looking helpless and hopeless.
She has 4 kids, and the 4 of them don't go to school. The eldest and the second elder now work for her. After Cyclone Idai, she became unable to walk. Her eldest son is 11 years old, and he earns about US 16 to 24 cents every day to raise his family. But before the cyclone, Sarita could farm the land.
The cyclone frightened her. Many people suffer from PTSD, so they can't stand up, even though they don't seem to have any symptoms, but we saw many people lost strength in their legs.
Taiwan Tzu Chi volunteers worry about these cyclone survivors, so they came again to pass on their home visitation experiences. In this town, it is hard to find someone because they do not have the address.
Is this she? No?
风灾过后，大家位置都移拉访过后的资料怎么去建立？ Google Map 也可以找吗？Google Map 是定位
点而已，我们只知道坐标，就是如果有去过，我们设坐标。但是你说真正地址没办法。
This is why Tzu Chi volunteers are training local volunteers to help them compile information on the survivors' families. Maria moved here from Maputo, which is thousands of miles away. This survivor lives in poverty, but she also wants to help others.
I like Tzu Chi. When the volunteers came and explained to me, I felt it was very nice, so I wanted to volunteer.
When I conducted home visitations, I told her what Tzu Chi was doing and why Tzu Chi came here to help people. She then understood it and wanted to volunteer.
The seeds that Tzu Chi volunteers distributed can help people farm the land. If they have extra crops, they can sell them in the market. They can earn around $4 a day.
This is the seedling from the onion seeds we gave to him. The seedling is about this big, so it is not grown yet and cannot be eaten.
Narita used the tools from the construction materials to grow vegetables.
I use the tools in the construction bag to grow vegetables, and they are helpful because I have harvested tomatoes, corns, and lettuce.
Volunteers from different places come to the wounded land to spread the seeds of goodness, bring hope to this country.
Tzu Chings from Taiwan used their summer break to go to China for a cultural exchange. They had the chance to visit an immigrant village in Gansu to care for impoverished families, bringing them love and warmth.
从台湾来的孩子，我希望他们能够看到，在那么贫困的地方，这些孩子们是怎么努力的，他们是在怎么样生活。其实那种精神也是激励我在慈济这么做的一个动力。
From Taiwan to Sichuan and then to Gansu's Jingyuan, this Tzu Chings visits a local immigrant's village to deliver blessings to the residents.
This is a peace charm, which means today everyone comes to your home to give you best wishes.
Mr. Wan and his family have improved their lives after moving to this new community. This time, many scholarship recipients also joined the volunteers to help out.
Spreading love doesn't mean to provide lots of supplies. It actually means to give spiritual support to the people in need. To us students who lack confidence, we're more in need of such encouragement and affirmation as we grow.
Although the Tzu Chings from Taiwan do not stay here for a long time, they have been impressed by this special experience.
While recalling what we have experienced over the past few days, we also recall everything we have encountered. This way, we can share with our partners in the days to come, and we can also reflect on ourselves and improve our abilities.
Their flights back to Taiwan was delayed one day due to Typhoon Bailu. Everyone used this opportunity to organize their notes, rating them to bring this experience back to share with others.
Beijing Tzu Chi volunteers have long been helping impoverished students in Yi County, allowing them to pursue an education. Volunteers not only provide financial aid, but also fulfilled one of the children's wishes to visit the Gansu Books and Cafe in Beijing.
To welcome the scholarship recipients from Yi County, Beijing Tzu Chi volunteers hold a tea gathering at the Gansu Books and Cafe.
I saw the child's wish. She said, "The world is so big, so I want to take a look. I want to visit the Gansu Books and Cafe in Beijing."
The child the volunteer has referred to is Ren Ziwen, who has just been accepted into the University of Science and Technology of Beijing. Her trip to the city this time has fulfilled her wish.
I learned from the internet about Gigi's great love, and I think Gigi is a really great organization. That's why I want to understand more about it. I did not expect that my wish would be taken so seriously, and finally I was able to fulfill my dream.
The volunteers have arranged the activities of flower arrangement and tea ceremony for the incoming college freshmen to experience.
Over the past 2 years, we have kept up a correspondence with them. DaAi parents and children have developed a very good friendship. Although the children have graduated from high school, DaAi parents' love for them will continue.
Although the correspondence between the volunteers and children has temporarily come to an end, Tzu Chi volunteers' love for them will not stop and will continue to accompany them to another starting point in life.
U.S. Tzu Chi Medical Foundation regularly sends the Tzu Chi mobile clinic to various communities to provide free clinics for low-income families or people without insurance. In Sacramento, California, the mobile clinic has a project called I-99, which now includes a dental service.
Tzu Chi Mobile Clinic is in Northern California to hold free clinics in St. Matthew's Episcopal Church at Highland Community. Northern California Tzu Chi volunteers started up free eye clinics in 2017 for people with low incomes or without medical insurances. To meet the needs of local people, the volunteers added a dental clinic later.
We are so thrilled to have you come on board here to provide dental and vision care in a community that is in such need. We are just so thankful to have you as a partner.
Lisa came with her mother to the free clinics. Her mother receives a new pair of glasses and she has a teeth cleansing. After the treatment, both of them are visibly much relieved.
I'm happy because my teeth are clean and they feel better, and my mother can see
much better, thank you.
When you go to a traditional eye doctor and you wait a couple of weeks, with care and compassion is just enormous and so beneficial to the community.
This community has many non-English speaking families, so the volunteers always invite people who can speak other languages to help with translation at the free clinics and hope that they will also join Tzu Chi.
In September 2012, forest fires broke out in Mountain Empire in Southern California. Since there are insufficient medical resources there, Tzu Chi visits every October to provide free medical services.
Before dawn, the Tzu Chi Mobile Clinic has already left for San Diego, Southern California. The medical van stops at a village around 20 miles away from downtown. The village lacks transportation and medical resources, and most of the residents are retired elderly or low-income families, so they usually endure physical discomfort if they fall ill.
This time we found that the last year when we did it, our patient numbers went down somewhat because a new clinic had opened in the Campo area. So we found out that in the outlying area where people can't get to these events, that there was a need for dental and vision.
Knowing the public will become nervous when they come to the free clinics, volunteer Lin Ke uses his harmonica to break the ice between the residents and the volunteers, and to ease their minds.
I can play the harmonica, so I played some folk songs they knew, so they could feel relaxed, and I also encouraged them to sing, and they could become more open-minded. They will not feel so nervous in this environment, and also less stressful.
Sharon went to Mountain Empire for a free clinic last October. This year, she was invited by Mark to visit this free clinic to solve both her dental and vision problems.
The medical care that I've had here has been excellent. The people are so gracious and so kind and so considerate and thoughtful and take their time and they're gentle. And I've heard that cleaning your teeth doesn't hurt, which is why I'm getting my teeth cleaned.
There will be a major free clinic in Mountain Empire in October, so the volunteers use this chance to train new local volunteers.
In this free clinic, we have several new volunteers to join us. Since they are here, they can be trained in the ophthalmology because it's easier there. So we are training them with this opportunity. And in the free clinic held in October, they will be able to help out.
These underprivileged people cannot afford expensive medical insurance, so Tzu Chi's free clinics are like the timely rain that solve their problems and also make them feel warm from society.
To celebrate the 7th lunar month, Tzu Chi volunteers in New Taipei City went to communities and promoted vegetarianism and recycling through games. This year is also the 20th anniversary of 9/21 earthquake. As volunteers retold scenes from the disaster.
Tzu Chi volunteers have held 7 prayer ceremonies for the 7th lunar month in Yonghe, New Taipei City. The first one has been held at the Minchen Activity Center. The volunteers promote righteous thoughts through games.
Through different activities, we realize that the auspicious month is actually a month for expressing gratitude and practicing filial piety, so it makes me feel warm.
Raise your hand if you took to the streets to raise funds for the 9/21 earthquake survivors. Let's clap for them.
When people recall the days during the September 21st earthquake 20 years ago, they still feel frightened and moved.
Bringing myself back to the scene, I can still feel it when cooperating with everyone during the process. When I look at the pictures, a lot of sweet memories come to mind.
In this event, Tzu Chi volunteers also look back at the September 21st earthquake. The volunteers share their experiences with everyone, reminding them to respect the nature. It's important not to burn just paper because it can harm the environment.
Instead of buying just paper, I donated the money to orphanages.
Tzu Chi volunteers are in a police station to celebrate the birthday for an officer and also to promote the benefits of a vegetarian diet.
I feel my skin has improved a lot. I also feel my digestive system has improved too, so this will make me healthier.
The 7th lunar month is an auspicious month. I hope today's event can also keep our colleagues safe when they are on duty, and we should also do recycling to protect the earth.
In 2003, red fire ants were first discovered near Taoyuan Airport. At that time, it attracted the attention of the government and academic circles. In 2004, the government allocated $4.6 million to control their spread. Since arriving, these ants now occupy nearly half of Taiwan.
It will travel everywhere when it rains. Because the ground is too wet, they will leave the nest and run around everywhere on the ground.
Heavy rains have led the special control area for red fire ants in New Taipei City, Taoyuan City, and Hsinchu County to become a vast ocean. Some people think that flooding red fire ants in their nests will reduce their population, but the actual situation is just the opposite. In the case of flooding, they immediately come together to form a sort of red fire ant life raft, and they can survive on the water for several weeks like this.
Usually, if there are red fire ants upstream, they'll flow down the river, and after a while, they'll spread there. The water is actually the cause of their spreading to this area.
After torrential rains pass, an invasion of red fire ants spreads, causing prevention and control personnel to rush to the scene.
When investigating, we don't know if there are any red fire ants, so we use these potato chips to draw them out. It easily attracts them, and they will come out immediately.
If these ants invade schools, hospitals, and homes, all so-called high-risk areas, one must immediately use pesticide to treat them. Using pesticide to cull red fire ants, although being a quick traditional method, may allow surviving red fire ants to flow outwards. It may not be a good way to cure the problem.
If we just use some contact-type agent, you have no way to effectively control the number of red fire ants. So at the moment, we are all using a type of bait, allowing it to take the initiative to go out and eat this thing to reduce their numbers.
这支美制品的药，它是使用玉米粉。
Methylprene is mixed with corn flour and a little oil, as these ants really like to eat things with oil. The ants will come out of the soil immediately and take it back to the nest to feed the larvae inside along with the queen. When they eat this medicine, they can develop it into adults.
就没有办法变成成虫。
For bait control, a full generation of red fire ants is needed, which may take 6 months before the population is greatly reduced. This is different from the effect of spreading pesticide on ant hills, but the advantage is that the red fire ants in this area will significantly reduce. However, for vast farmlands and other land, it is almost impossible to dispense bait. The government, with the aid of a few companies, purchased more than 20 special ATV vehicles to disperse this material to control the spread of red fire ants.
At present, companies need to purchase ATVs for this work, as the government does not subsidize this aspect of the work.
In recent years, the red fire ant control funding went from an initial $4.6 million, with annual decreases leading to just $414,000 this year, which has just raised to $1.2 million. In the case of epidemic situation spreading and a reduction in funding, epidemic prevention personnel are really struggling. Since 2003, when the red fire ants invaded Taiwan, there were nearly 10,000 hectares in the Taoyuan area have been ravaged. Now the control area for red fire ants has spread to 49,000 hectares. Like this farmland Taoyuan City, you can see the traces of red fire ants everywhere. There are 6 counties and cities where red fire ants are raging. The most serious is some 50,000 hectares in Taoyuan City, followed by Hsinchu County, New Taipei City, Miaoli County, Hsinchu City, and Taipei City, plus sporadic areas in other counties and cities. More than 69,000 hectares have become hotbeds of red fire ants.
Our most difficult job now is if you spray pesticides on this area and a plant bought by Taipei people doesn't have any treatment, then they will breed over there. We need a national control movement to solve the problem.
Red fire ants is listed as one of the top 100 invasive species. Their origin is South America, and they spread at a rate of 198 kilometers per year. The Americas, New Zealand, Australia, Taiwan, Hong Kong, and China are now red fire ant epidemic areas.
China has been invaded by red fire ants in more than a dozen provinces now.
Red fire ants' invasion of China may be a year later than Taiwan's invasion in 2003, but the uncontrollable epidemic caused the red fire ants have passed from China to the outer islands of Taiwan, such as Kinmen.
In just about 3 years, the entire epidemic occurred on the main Jinmen Island, and even including Little Jinmen.
DNA analysis of the red fire ant in Taiwan is confirmed as being an invasive species from the U.S. However, the red fire ant species that is ravaging Kinmen came from China. Both Taiwan and its outer islands are at risk of red fire ants, with 2 different strains attacking. They can breed in large numbers in countries with warm weather, as once our defenses are broken, they can pose a real threat to human life in our special ecosystem.
With the arrival of the 7th lunar month, Tzu Chi volunteers in Canada invited a TCM doctor to discuss nutrition and a vegetarian diet. We leave you with this. Goodbye.